So, if you're fairly aware, you'll know that in the last 48 hours, I lost access to my channel twice, and once it was again terminated, right? Thankfully, just so you know, everything's basically back to how it was back in March 12th when I was first hacked. The downside to this, obviously, is I've actually lost access to these recent videos that I've made between the middle of March and up until now, but I'll fully explain how to watch those videos again if you want to see them. I can't re-upload these because they are technically terminated content by YouTube, and I can't re-upload terminated content because I could risk getting my channel terminated again, so I can't re-upload them if you're asking, but I will tell you how to get the access to these videos in a second. But the purpose of this video is to explain how did I get hacked again? Kajor, are you just a dumbass? Did you just not reset your passwords? And how that's just, again, really outdated, and how this sort of breed of attacks can really affect anyone, including high-level YouTubers like Linus Tech Tips, and we'll get into that now. So, I got a few comments on YouTube and Twitter about, alright bro, what are you doing? Are you just dumb? No, right? I'm not gonna get gaslit by this, or by dumb comments like this. I know this disrespected this person, right? They just don't understand how the breed of attacks work, and to be fair, neither did I. So, again, I can't really comment on, it'll be, too offensive on that end, right? But 2 years ago, Linus Tech Tips, I'm sure you know who this guy is, big tech YouTuber, got hacked in the exact same way that I did. And again, this guy is much bigger than me, and specializes in tech, right? And I'll play a short clip here explaining how these attacks bypassed passwords and two-factor authentication.
I got to be educated the hard way about a breed of attacks that bypass trivial things like passwords and 2FA entirely by targeting what's known as a session token.
Right, so I'm not going to fully play that clip there. He goes into it, explain it, right? And I'm not going to go into too much detail about how I lost access to my channel again without actually losing access to my passwords or my emails, but Linus basically explains it perfectly here, and it's caused me to do a full Windows reset, right? Like, this is a plain Windows background here, as you can see, right? Completely stock, everything's reinstalled, went into my BIOS, cleared absolutely everything, personal data, files, apps, everything you could imagine. And get a factory reset, because like I'm not dealing with this again. I'm not using antivirus software, even though I did use that, and I should still use that. I do still use it. I use Kaspersky, but yeah, it's just not going to be as secure as just fully resetting your Windows, right? Or reinstalling your Windows. So that's that hack essentially covered. If you want to watch these videos again, I've made a Metafy page, right? So this is the page here. I'll try and go to the overview on my homepage, or your preview as a visitor. This is what you'll see. So this is the thing, right? So I made 5 videos in that time period. All these 5 videos are free to access, as you can see here, right? So if if you're wondering about where my Bastion video went, you can watch it here. If someone asks you what happened to the Kajor Bastion video, link them or tell them about this Metafy page. It'll be down below. Yada yada yada, right? So yeah, that's where you can access it again. There's also more content as well. So I'm planning to use Metafy as a director's cut tool about going on a more extended sort of depth in terms of, hey, if it's stuff that's cut out from my main videos, if you want to get that stuff that's been cut out, this is where you go. And it's essentially high-level educational stuff, more in-depth breakdowns, better editing as well, because Metafy, I've essentially used Metafy's editors to edit this content as well. And again, if you buy one of these guides, right, or the future guides as well, you will get updates to them as well, right? So patch notes, obviously, they run out. They're not evergreen, right? Patch notes are always constantly changing. If you buy this one-time guide, you will get all future updates to my thoughts on the patch notes. And again, I'll cover like the changes in meta, difference between team, play, and ranked, all that kind of like in-depth hardcore stuff there. Same thing with the Ryan Map analysis stuff as well. And essentially stuff that I didn't cover in the Ryan Map analysis, right? And this is only a 10-minute video. If you want like stuff that's half an hour long, it's just 8 minutes here, right? But I think this is a 20-minute. It's still processing, right? But that's a 20-minute video, plus an extra 7-minute video about countering the comp that I didn't cover. All that kind of in-depth stuff there is going to be on my Metafy page, so link down below on that. This is going to be, again, more fleshed out and whatnot, right? But yeah, barring that, only last thing to say is, in case my channel gets taken down again, go subscribe to this channel. It's going to be linked down below. It's my second channel about, again, creating or coaching people, right? Again, if my main channel goes down or gets permanently terminated for whatever dumb reason, this is the channel to go to. I made a community post about it, so there you go. And last thing is, maybe you might ask, right, why not make a second channel to make or like talk about this stuff, right? The main reason, there's 2 main reasons to this. The main one is Metafy is much smaller than YouTube in terms of competition. There's only a few creators that constantly upload on Metafy, and I can essentially have a monopoly over the space if I just upload and create stuff on the platform, right? And that's kind of the biggest reason. The second reason is I can thematically dedicate stuff or like direct stuff to this, right? So I guess you can call it playlisting on YouTube, right? But I feel like Metafy's sort of, playlisting is a bit better than YouTube because you're constantly updating stuff to the playlist and it's really, really clear and concise compared to YouTube's. So that's kind of why I went with Metafy. And I just kind of want to test out anyways, you know? I'm going to be on this site for 6 months and then we'll see how it goes from there. But yeah, in short, check out the Metafy page for the lost uploads. Check out the channel too, subscribe to this, again, if you're either interested in coaching, or again, if my channel goes down, this is where I'll be again, and yeah, I'm not done with getting hacked again. Linus got hacked, okay, I promise you, nothing to do with passwords, nothing to do with factor authentication, the hack goes beyond that, okay, but yeah.